Back with you now on your Tuesday. Former President Trump could soon face yet another indictment. But are his legal troubles hurting his primary chances at all? He said last week that he received a target letter from special counsel Jack Smith, typically a sign of looming charges. And while a third indictment has yet to materialize, we're waiting for that possibly this week, neither have any hints that Mr. Trump's legal issues are hurting his campaign. In fact, recent polls show him extending his commanding lead over the rest of the Republican field. A new Fox Business poll among Iowa voters shows Trump leading Ron DeSantis 46-16, with Tim Scott taking third at 11%. Meanwhile, over in South Carolina, let's take a look there. Trump has almost 50% of the vote and a 34-point lead over former Governor Nikki Haley. The Hill's editor-in-chief, Bob Cusack, joins us now. Bob, let's start with the fact that none of these legal woes or indictments seem to be slowing President Trump down. I mean, at all. His polling is up. The probes seem to be, turbocharging his fundraising. How are Democrats looking at this? Are they no longer seeing all of this legal action as a win for them?
Well, they're still waiting. And remember, a lot of Democrats are actually rooting for Donald Trump to win the nomination, thinking that Joe Biden can beat him again, even though some polls have Trump ahead of Biden. So this is one to watch. However, there are some good indications for the former president. You mentioned his polls are up. His fundraising is up since he's been indicted twice. But this third one could be different. It may not be, but there is polling from Harvard Harris that we just reported on. 57% of respondents think the case against Trump is either very strong or somewhat strong. So this could
for
be
January 6th, for the January 6th indictment.
For the January 6th one, the one that is expected to come next week. Who knows? Could come today.
And what can, we're talking about this lead that he has over his Republican contenders right now in all these recent polls. What can President Trump's Republican opponents do to cut into such a massive lead? I mean, is there anything to do, or is the primary already over here for them?
Well, you talk to some Republicans and they think that the primary is over. We haven't had the first debate. We don't know if Donald Trump is going to show up for that. I think that these candidates have to take Trump on more forcefully. Ron DeSantis, who has really just been stuck around 20% at best in some of these polls, he's kind of said, well, on the indictments that there's a weaponization of government, but also criticizing Trump. I think these candidates have to be clear and go after him. And certainly when he's on the stage, whether that's the first, second, or third debate, they've got to go after him strong. But remember, Trump is a great campaigner. He's a former president, and he knows how to return fire.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be in Milwaukee. I mean, what's the point of him showing up to that stage? He's also hinted at hosting his own event at the same time, and we know that he can garner those crowds for sure. There's also, back to legal troubles, there's still the very real possibility that President Trump is charged with election interference in Georgia. Despite all that, President Trump currently sits at more than 51% on the Real Clear Politics polling average. And he's held relatively steady at the top of the GOP primary polls, while Ron DeSantis has lost ground to candidates like Vivek Ramaswamy. So my question to you, what does it tell you that Trump support has not only remained steady, but increased, while DeSantis loses ground at the same time?
Well, DeSantis has never run nationally. He had a great year last year in beating Charlie Crist, the Democrat, by nearly 20 points. That was a huge win for DeSantis. But everything since then, from his launch to his interviews, have just been subpar. And I think you got to watch out for Vivek Ramaswamy. He is moving up. He's very media savvy. He's doing a lot of interviews. I think that's helped him. But he's still a long way from Trump. So this is looking a lot like 2016, where Trump basically, he did lose Iowa to Ted Cruz, but he basically led wire to wire.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Vivek Ramaswamy certainly getting some momentum. We just rode along with him on the campaign trail. Bob Cusack, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.